Because we do not know the due order of what Christ is wanting to accomplish. See, this is what happened with the Jews when he sat in the temple and he read out of the book of Isaiah. The Bible said that their eyes were fastened on him because they didn't know what this man was getting ready to do. This man was full of authority and power and legislation. The Bible said that he carried the government of the kingdom upon his shoulders. And guess what? They didn't know what he was getting ready to do. He was sitting amongst them and bringing due order into the earth.
Amen.
We need to understand that when Jesus shows up, the order of God shows up. We need to understand when revival breaks out, Christ comes to sit and he begins to put things in order.
Amen.
This is why revivals only last 1 or 2 years, because after those 2 years, guess what? You get married, but after a couple of years, the pavement, what happened? The honeymoon's over, the rubber hits the pavement. Are you hearing me? So when Jesus comes to reside, and he wants us to be, he wants to come and reside with us. He wants to come and sit amongst us.
Amen.
It's not enough for, listen, people come to visit God on Saturdays and Sundays.
Amen.
I'm telling you, people come to visit God. God never called us to visit him.
Amen.
He called us to become a habitation for his glory. So that when we come into a place like this, guess what? He comes and resides with us. We didn't come to visit God. Listen, God didn't come to visit us. He wants to abide amongst us. So that every service we come into, it has power, it has demonstration, it has legislation, and it has the government of God resting upon us. I don't know about you, but I'm longing for services that when the sick come in, all of a sudden, there they are. They get healed when they walk through the door.
Amen.
Because Christ is sitting amongst us.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I look forward to the day that when those that need to be delivered from drugs and alcohol, as soon as they touch that doorstep, everything comes out.
Amen.
Are you hearing me? And so, David didn't seek after the right order. And you know what's funny about David? He inquired the Lord about every battle. But when it came to God's presence, he didn't ask him nothing.
Why is that?
Because we take the presence of God very lightly. And this is why the church is suffering today. The reason we don't have more of the Spirit in the church today is because people come to visit God. They serve God part-time. There's no commitment to what God desires on the earth. And because that, God said, I'm not going to sit amongst chaos. I'm going to sit where there's order. Can you say amen?
Amen.
And so, number one, they sought the due order of God. 1 Chronicles 15:13. David sought the due order of God. Amen. To bring the presence of God, before he could bring it into the city of David, he had to seek the due order of God, which is found in 1 Chronicles 15:13. Number two, they sanctified themselves. Somebody say sanctified. What do? They set themselves apart. Somebody say set apart. You see, God is looking for people that are willing to set themselves apart. Like Prophet has said. You know, it's an inconvenience for you to come here on Mondays. It's an inconvenience for you to come on Saturdays. You know what? You know why God told me to have services on Saturdays? To show the hearts of this region. People won't listen. They'll go on a Sunday, but man, don't do a Saturday because I got to be in the bar. I got to be over there. I got to do this. Football. Isn't it funny that people can quote all these scriptures and all they talk about is football, talk about what they're going to do tomorrow, do all them things. Listen, you're not worthy for God's presence if you cannot commit yourself. Let me tell you how the presence of God comes. When people get so hungry that they say, God, I want to become a habitation. And they begin to pray and seek the Lord's face and say, God, show up in this place. Amen. When we begin to get so hungry that we begin to march around this house and we begin to declare and begin to pray pray without ceasing. And calling upon the name of the Lord. And then when we show up on service, we don't show up with soup in our hands and all these things. I'm not saying those are wrong, but listen, when you come to serve a living God, I guarantee if Jesus walked in these doors, there wouldn't be one person that would be drinking or eating soup. But yet in our region, people will sit down, drink coffee, get on their computers. They'll do all that right in the midst of their worship. Come on, somebody. I'm just going to lay it down. I want you to understand. See, those that are immature won't handle this message. If you're immature, this is grade 10. You need to go back to grade 1. When you're in grade